Yep, she did good. Very good.
You're
Hold
backstage.
on. Go ahead.
We're backstage. We're getting ready for the seminar, and we got her in here all crated up and ready. And we finished the one-on-one, and now Brendan's setting up to do the what is it?
PowerPoints.
The PowerPoint. And then I need to go get my bike suit and bring it in here so when the stage get here I can put it on and we can roll.
Perfect. Hey, Athena. You're not used to being in the crate? You're a prisoner now? You've been in the hotel licking all night my face? Hey. I know. Love you.
How's everybody doing? Good. We're about to get started. I'm Wes with Canine Justice Dog Training. Some of you know me, some may not. This is Rodriguez Carter. He's a Madison Bell Canine. They're out of South Georgia. They came up. It's about a 6-hour drive roughly for them. So they come to put on a demonstration for you for protection work. We're going to get started with the protection stuff first. Then after that, we're going to roll into the narcotic canine with scent detection. We're going to go into some advanced and basic obedience. And then after that, we're going to do a slideshow presentation and teach you guys a whole bunch of stuff. Okay? Sound good? Yeah. All right.
We've been training for about a year and some change. And we just want to go over some stuff about what they look like. We get a lot of questions about people that call us and ask us, can we train their dog to be a protection dog? And there's some stuff that we look for in the dog. Protection dogs, police dogs, and sport dogs are not the same. They serve a different purpose. A personal protection dog should be one pet, right? They should be camouflaged. So this is Sage. Come on, bring her out. So this is Sage. She is one of the personal protection dogs that we train. And you notice how friendly she is, right? And Troy Boone, this is her owner, right? So she lives with a lot of kids. Troy, you can tell them.
Yeah, I got 3 grandkids and they run around and scream and play around the pool. She has, she don't react on them, but as soon as something happens, she's ready to go.
And a lot of times you hear about Belgian Malinois biting children. These dogs are bred to work. That's all they're bred to do. When they're able to work, then you see the best dog in the world. When they don't get to work is when they become disruptive and nippy. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do a little bike demo with you. And what I wanna show you is basically how transition she is. You'll see. So I'm gonna walk up slowly, I'm gonna shake Troy's hand, and then he's gonna release her. We're gonna dance right here on this stage. I didn't put on that little suit, so we didn't take a whole lot of time. You gotta take it. Let's drag it. So in protection work, we like to use a whip. The whip is just a fire. The dog, it stimulates the 22 gut, and it just gets them agitated. Troy, come over here to the left. I'm gonna send her this way, back in the corner. I'm gonna catch her right here in the pocket. I'm gonna hold her. We're gonna stay away from the head so we don't fall. Tell her to watch first. Yeah, you go ahead. He's gonna give her a watch command. Start watching. Good girl. And I'm keeping her on this bike right here. Oh! Good girl! Good girl! Say, out! Come here. Sit down. You wouldn't know she was a personal protection dog if you saw her. But when me and her get together, we work a lot, so she knows what time it is when we get together, and it's gonna be some work. This is what relaxes her. It relaxes me too. But it relaxes her, and it keeps her safe. So probably saves her never biting anyone in her life, because she's doing it, we're doing it here. And she'll have the on and off switch of clarity of biting individuals, lunging at people, and things like that, what pet dogs do. So if I walk around her now, there's no reaction.
Just watching.
Then she just watches me. Now, if I raise my voice and I start to go towards him and be reactive, she's gonna hit me hard. So if he's the owner, so she has a, what we call an implied command, where she'll work without him saying it. So, I know she's turned this way, so I don't wanna, you see how she's looking? So if I start to move Choi slightly and add pressure, hey, Choi! Oh! 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 Oh!
Say, out. Say.
And then I'll switch. So that's what when we train our personal protection dog, we train them like this. 90% of them are all in public. No one even knows they're protection dogs, but that's what you see if you have protection. They should be able to be around people, have an on and off switch, and protect the handler, but the handler doesn't even know. Any questions?
Yeah, how old do they need to be before you start, I mean, when did you start working with her like?
We started training today, how old was she?
She was just under a year. She's about 11 months old.
About 11 months old.
She's right at 2, just a little over 2 now.
And certain breeds are more inclined to protection training.
Yeah, I say certain breeds are like dancing. Some people are just better at it, right? You can have kind Corso to be a protection dog, but they're really good in small spaces.
Yeah.
When you get into open, you're gonna need her. She could do this, he could do this up here all day long, right? But a Connie Corso, we had tapped out 5 minutes ago.
What would you look for to make sure the dog can do this? Like, what
So
kind
we-
of personality?
We breed our German Shepherds with the Super Dog Training Program. So we can tell that in the beginning, that at about 9 weeks old, they should be able to hear a blink gun fire without reacting to it.
That's your what?
Say that again.
What was that again?
By 11 weeks old, they should be able to hear a blink gunfire without reacting to it. You know how dogs are scared of thunder and fire, right? Thunder noise and stuff. If they're scared of that, they're not gonna make a great protection dog.
You always watching. So,
Yeah. Yeah, one more.
say, down. Come here.
Good job. You can get back there. So I had a question. How many people are interested in protection with their dog? And any particular breed?
I have a 10-week-old German Shepherd.
10-week-old German Shepherd.
He's very, when we had four, we lost her and rescued dogs. registered dogs that a lady couldn't sell. And, we found great homes for the other 3, and I fell in love with one and I kept him.
Gotcha.
I've always wanted one.
What breed did you guys have? Doberman. Another good breed. So Doberman, German Shepherd, Boxers, Schnauzers. They make great protection dogs. Belgian Malinois, of course.
Cane Corso.
Most of the time people don't make it through the first year with a Belgian Malinois, because they'll put you through it. If anyone, you guys rescue them, right? They're a mess. They're very sensitive dogs. Believe it or not, that dog you saw was very sensitive. And if the wrong trainer, the wrong hands, she could end up being terrible. So, when you deal with that, you definitely know the breeder. You know what, because this is where it all starts, is with the breeder. It doesn't start with the owners. If those dogs aren't touched, those puppies aren't socialized, they're gonna forever have issues growing up with going places, seeing people, and different things like that. So you wanna see where the puppies are living, how they're training the puppies. On our page, we have every single training video with every puppy that we bred or trained is on there. So you can see, if the trainer can't show you, then they should be doing it. And there's a purpose behind everything they do with the dog. So we do protection in the South. We get a lot of clients from up in Atlanta way. So if you guys are interested, you can welcome to go to our page and see the layout and how we train them from puppies all the way to adult dogs.
Much continued education you guys do with safety.
We maintenance the dog track. So they board with us, they train with us. If I haven't heard from a client in so many times, I'll go get the dog. They have to be maintenance for life. And we maintenance a lot of prior law enforcement dogs. They still gotta get those bites. And we maintenance with military dogs, anything, we'll maintenance those dogs. And we take them. Because a lot of the behaviors you see in working dogs, you don't wanna see in pet dogs. You want working dogs, resource guard. That's how they find the odor of scent, resource guard, their toy, their ball. Well, with pet dogs, you don't wanna see that stuff. So those qualities, we have to maintain those same qualities with dogs, or mess them up.
Now, when you moved towards him and got kind of aggressive,
Yes.
so he said he has 3 grandchildren. I don't know the ages of them.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes grandkids like to get rough. So what if the kids go towards him, like roughly, is the dog?
No, it doesn't. So we have the dog bond with the owners before we even start working with them. Well, when they arrive to us, they're happy puppies, right? And then we start doing prey drive work with them, biting and stuff. They're slowly guided into the protection side. They don't even know it. So by the time they're in it, they're neutral about everything in protection. But we don't do defensive dogs. Those dogs are already ready to lunge and bite. So we don't do defensive. We only work in prey. So they already understand who lives in, who's supposed to be here.
So if it was a stranger, then he would have,
Absolutely.
but
yeah.
not somebody that was.
Absolutely. And then we always instruct our handlers on what they should be telling me. Animated, moving their hands, talking fast, right? Just different things like that. We tell them, be prepared. You're protecting your dog, not the other person. So you always watch your dog.
Why did you only go for the arm?
Well, I wanted to go for the arm because I called her there when I came out with the whip, because I didn't want her going for the leg, and then she would have dragged me over.
Somebody may have already asked this, but what do you look for when you go to a breeder to look for puppies for protection work? What are you looking for in that puppy? What would you rather see? Let's say the wild rambunctious one or the one that's laid over by itself?
Wild. The one that has courage, the one that's wild, the one that everyone says my dog is stubborn. That's the dog we're looking for. That dog. Because then once we put them in situations, they're gonna work in every situation. A dog that's always thinking in the beginning, they're not. They're gonna think about it. When we did 12 protection police dogs with Liberty County Canine, and they brought in 3 shepherds and the rest were Mouse. Well, when the Mouse came in the door, we were behind the door in the bike suit. They didn't care what was in the room. They just went in with no self-preservation. When the shepherds came in, they always looked at them like this. And they decided then if they were gonna go in or not. So we look for the wild ones.
And is it true that everything you don't want in a pet dog, you want in a protection dog?
Yes. It's true.
How often is that continued education? How often do you see these dogs in a year?
In a year, they come back for a 2-week refresher, and then anytime the owners want, the dogs come back. So they come back to board with us. We may see one of our protection dogs 4 times a week.
Awesome.
4 times a year?
4 times in 1 year. Like, after they finish training with us, they can come for vacation, they can come for boarding, they can come for a refresher. They also develop bad habits, and they have to come back to us to get that.
If the dog has already bit a person and this dog is untrained, could you train this dog in protection?
Absolutely not. If the dog has already bit a person, they shouldn't be nowhere near protection.
Do you have a favorite breed that you work with?
I love the shepherds. Everybody knows me as a German Shepherd guy. So I deal with Czech Shepherds, East German, West Lines. So the only reason why I can't deal with mouths is because I have a small space and they have a very high pitched bark. And even they will bleed your ears, so. And they do it it's nothing, something they do. We call them alligators because they chunk. If you ever see them and they're sitting in front of you, and we have Sage up here, they start to shake and then they start moving their teeth. And that's just their genetic makeup. Because they want to work and we're taking to them.
Yeah, she wasn't scared. She was excited.
No.
So when you do these shepherds, you talked about some import shepherds. Are
Yeah.
those different than American shepherds?
Absolutely. American Shepherds, American Dobermans should not be doing protection work. We really messed up the breed when we started breeding it. So most of your protection dogs come from overseas. They're European lines. They still have their real genetic makeup and balance. They're not neurotic.
So bloodline definitely matters.
It definitely matters. I would say 50% of our puppies come back to us for protection. So if we were selling puppies for that and they came back and wouldn't work, then we would look bad. And we own all the way up to the great-great-grandparents. We still own those.
How long is your protection training when let's say somebody here gets a puppy with you, how long is their dog with you?
When the dog comes back, they come initially back for 12 weeks. And while they're doing it, the training, they're doing socializing, they're walking around their pets, cats, going out in public around a bunch of people. So we keep them focused that they are pets first before protection dogs.
So they need to be 11 months old when they start, or younger?
We can start training them, depending on the breeder, we can start training them at 8 weeks. So it all depends on for someone who's bringing me a dog, I won't do it until they're released older, until they mature. If you get them fixed, they will never get to do protection work. They can't do protection. It's very rare, it's a anomaly. You may see 1 or 2 dogs that can do it.
Why is that?
It stunts their aggression. It stops it. That's the reason why we get them fixed. Because they're being aggressive or too aroused, right? So it just stomps it and it raises their estrogen. So once it raises their estrogen, even no matter what I do threatening, they're gonna seem frightened. They're not gonna be more defensive. So I would recommend getting it fixed by 2.
Does that make a difference, male or female?
No, if you get them fixed.
Or just for protection work?
Just for protection. If you don't get it fixed, it can be male or female.
Yeah.
Do you like working with females better?
I love working with females better. Me personally, they're more emotional and they do. Male dogs are more erratic and they're more macho. So sometimes they get ahead of themselves and you're trying to control them and I got this and they're pushing you back. For a female, if you saw the Sage, she always came back to her handler for the next step.
In your opinion, Malinois, like against a Dutch Shepherd, which one is best?
I was
Which one is first?
It's a tough. I've worked with Dutch Shepherd, and we worked the fence about this high, and she would jump over and bite me. We called her Supergirl. So, I mean, they're about the same. They're the same dog to me. Dutch Shepherd and Malinois are the same dog. Dutch Shepherds are a little bit more neurotic, but they're the same dog.
You say do get them fixed or don't get them fixed?
Don't get it.
Don't.
What's your question?
What do you look for in a trainer? You know, some trainers, you know, they'll train nerdy dogs. Like, what do you look for in a trainer has in the best interest of mine?
If they're training prey or defense. Prey is basically the dog chasing me and coming to bite me. Defense is me backing the dog in the corner and making them come bite, scaring the dog. So, I mean, the dog is always gonna be in a defensive blackout mode when they do protection. And then you may have some issues with the dog biting people in the house. And you can tell them how to train this dog. Because he'll be either pulling sleep away, having the person chase him, or he'll be frightening the dog, yelling at him, forcing the dog to bite. It looks, you can't really tell when you see it on video, but then if you're live in person, because your dog will be frightened.
And letting these dogs work is super important for them.
Yes.
If they're not doing their job, they become neurotic.
Yes.
When she asked the question on picking training, when I actually got with Rodriguez on the training stage, we took her because she was just so full of energy. I knew nothing about the mouth, and I just wanted basic obedience. I wasn't even thinking about training for protection. And got over there and got to talking with him, and I checked around with a few local trainers and stuff, and looked at their site, and to me, communication, they had videos update who was on vacation, and I could look on, there was a new video of her training, so I knew she wasn't sitting at the kennel and me just spending my money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because every other day there was a new video, so they were working with her a lot, and then when we talk about protection work, I was worried about, we got 3 grandkids, and I think some of that's age, they were at that time between 8 and 12.
And let me say, a well-trained dog knows the difference in a child jumping around and playing and somebody who is a threat. I mean, she has never once been violent with any of my grandchildren or their friends or anybody else unless she was told to go. Now, she lets us know if somebody comes up and they're not supposed to be there. But a well-trained dog is not gonna attack a child that they're not a threat.
And if she's at home with y'all, does she just kind of hang out?
Just like a regular dog, she can run around and play.
And she plays with the kids, and they're jumping in the pool, they're riding four-wheelers, none of that phases her. But we had some people working at our house, and they came up, and before they got out of their car, we knew she was there. She started barking to let us know. So, I mean, a well-trained dog, I mean, I would not have a male that was not trained. I would want it trained.
And I totally encourage y'all to go and follow them on Facebook and look at some of their videos. You'll see them train for your lifestyle, things that happen in your life. They'll train for kids running around.